All right, guys, today we are going to be reacting to and to destroy this pro-choice girls argument with pure logic. Let's jump in.
You mentioned, I forgot the context. You mentioned women's rights and reproductive rights. Do you recall what the context was? I wrote those down, but what was the context?
It was just that what I look for in a man, and I said that like he needs to be aligned at least politically with me.
He needs to be aligned politically with you. He needs to be supportive of women's rights and reproductive rights. When you, just for clarification for any of the men out there who might be interested in dating you, or just for the sake of the conversation, when you say supportive of women's rights, what do you mean by that?
Women's right to education, women's rights to an abortion, women's rights to be equal with men, women's right to have a career, etc.
Sure. But so are you saying that women don't have those things currently?
They do. I'm just saying, from your stand, there's men who want that submissive woman, and that they want that woman that wants to be a stay-at-home wife, and I don't want that, and that's what I want him to align with.
I see. Okay, so you're not arguing that women don't have these rights.
No.
But there needs to be a continuity of support of existing rights.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I guess on that, getting into the questionnaire for the whole panel, I know some of you probably answered in the negative on this, but do you guys think that when it comes to women's rights, are there any do women have equal rights to men? Show of hands. Do women have equal rights? Okay, let me reframe the question then.
We do have equal rights.
Are there any rights that a man has that a woman does not? Starting with you, I guess.
Not that I can think of at the top of my head.
Okay.
Yo, her nose is real? Why her nose is so pointy?
Going around the table then?
No.
No?
I'm assuming this is like going towards abortion, so I'd say if abortion was illegal, then that would be one right that a man has over a woman, is that a woman doesn't get full say in healthcare.
Well, I mean, men don't have any reproductive rights at all, so it's not, wouldn't equality between men and women be to have a national abortion ban? Would that not be equality?
I'm not sure.
Of course not, you're not sure.
I'm just not sure.
Well, if men don't have any rights when it comes to their reproduction, wouldn't that entail that in order for there to be equality, women wouldn't be allowed to have any rights when it comes to their reproduction? Ergo, there would be no right to an abortion. Would that not be equality then?
Sure.
Okay,
Sure.
so then you're in favor of equality?
Yeah, so here's the thing about sure. Sure is not an affirmative agreement statement. It's actually the opposite. It's giving you the illusion this is a positive to your argument, but it's not. It's a positive response, but it's not a positive response. It's actually the opposite. It's completely negative. It's making sure that you. It's literally giving you a little bit. It's like switch and bait kind of thing. It sounds like I'm giving you an answer, but I'm not. Sure, it's not giving you an answer. Sure, it shows a neutral statement. So when they say sure, they haven't answered the question. Sure, it's not an answer. And I hope in the future, Brian can pick up on that.
Equality? On this topic?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're in favor of
She's
walking back
uncomfortable.
abortion rights for women then?
No.
So you're in favor of inequality between men and women, in favor of women having more rights?
I just think a woman should be able to decide, and that's just my stance.
Demons.
Yeah, but that just to be clear, you're in favor of an inequality of rights between men and women, something that favors more rights to women than to men.
I guess.
See, there's not giving you an answer.
Sure, a lot of women have that position. Going around the table.
I don't think there are any rights that men have more than women.
Okay.
Are we talking strictly legally or also privilege, like day-to-day base?
I'm talking like rights.
There we
but
go, Andrew.
could also have a separate conversation about, I guess, privileges.
If we are talking from a legal standpoint, I don't think there's much nowadays inequality as far as that goes.
Okay.
I feel like I have to think about this question a little bit more.
You mean, I mean, you've had a minute while we've gone around the table.
Brian is losing it though.
Yeah, then I just prefer not to answer that
Oh,
question.
that's not.
I mean,
You know what happened there? That's not compliance. She's failing compliance, guys, which is a check test. Failing the compliance, so it's a compliance test, right? Now you have to push back because you have to make sure that there's a compliance. Females know, they know what's going on. If she's not complying, that means I cannot comply as well. And you cannot tell me different, because if you tell me something different, I can point you back to her because she didn't comply. Brian's job right now is to make sure she can comply. If she cannot comply, she cannot be in the show, because the conversation doesn't get anywhere. This is literally a great opportunity to them to make sure they can move forward with their, with their future and be business opportunities. But they are afraid. I think Rachel Wilson's appearance really messed their brain up, I guess.
I mean, it's like I've given you quite a bit of leeway already on refusing to answer. I mean, you've written no opinion on a lot of these things. I feel like you do have opinions. You're just kind of being like it's like intellectual cowardice. You just don't feel comfortable stating your actual opinion. Is that fair to say?
It's not intellectual cowardice. I just don't really want to publicize my views.
So you do have an opinion. You're just scared to share it.
Damn.
I'll accept that, but I mean, at least a concession that you're not willing to state your opinion.
I would just like a little bit of privacy if that's available to me.
I suppose I suppose it's just you've come on a podcast to talk, so it's kind of counterintuitive, but
Ryan, bro, you know what time it is. You know what time it is, Brian. When they do this, do you know what time it is, man?
What about you?
What was the question?
It's definitely a nuanced question. I think that yes, on paper, women have equal rights to men. But if you're in a country where, yes, like if we're talking about abortion, your child has extreme deformity, they won't make it out of the womb alive, and you're forced to carry this pregnancy, and it kills you in the end. The man did have more right in this and say in this situation.
Well, wait
how
a
so?
second.
How so?
Wait. Well,
there you go. Come on, Andrew.
But any time the abortion argument comes up, the argument is never between the life of the child and the mother for like an ectopic pregnancy or something like that. That's already been relinquished. It's always the default that if it's going to be that the baby actually has the chance of killing the mother from some sort of delivery, at that point, everybody agrees, religious and non, that you would default for the life of the mother at that point. And there's good reasons behind that. So but that's not really what's ever entailed in the abortion question. Almost no abortion ever happens because of those reasons. Almost zero of them.
There have been multiple cases in red states where a mom has identified that her child has an abnormality, that it won't live out of the fetus, and it's a danger to herself to deliver this child, and she wasn't allowed the access
Red
to
herring.
abortion.
That's never happened.
You can literally look it up.
Well, yeah, I'll literally look it up right now. Tell me where.
There was recently a 16-year-old, it was on the operating table. She died because it was a risk to her life, and this child could not be aborted.
Where?
Earlier on. I'm not sure where.
Exactly.
I read up on the case. It was a while ago. I don't remember.
Exactly. No, you read it in social media and an Instagram post on TikTok, and you just went with it because it triggered your emotion. Exactly.
The details.
That's insane.
Yeah, no, that doesn't happen. And by the way, this is a matter of law. They're supposed to default to the life of the mother in the case of a pregnancy where there's a deformity which could kill the mother. They always will do the procedure to save the mother's life. So literally, that just sounds like propaganda.
Yeah,
So
that's what I said.
geez,
That's what I
maximum
said.
charitable 16-year-old on operating
CIA
table can't have
stuff, man.
abortion, and it kills her, right?
Yes.
Okay, and it kills her. Let's see.
Do you know where this happened?
I don't know. I don't remember. I know it's and in a red state where.
I mean, so Andrew, even granting that this happened, I still don't think that this is actually evidence of some sort of, because when we're talking about rights and a comparison of rights between men and women, equal rights would indicate that there's a comparison being made.
Okay, so here I found the case. Okay, at least this is the only case I can find. But this was happening due to a miscarriage, and they were suing because of the miscarriage should have been sped up in order to deliver the fetus.
Exactly.
At that point,
DNC.
hang on. At that point, that was safer, though. The doctors say it was safer to deliver the fetus. They were unaware of any pre-existing condition that would have affected the health of the mother. So she was miscarrying, and they're being sued for malpractice because they didn't do the correct things they were supposed to do. But that really doesn't make your case.
But this case is happening more. Literally in Texas, they're not teaching certain chapters of the OBGYN residency to their residents because it's not in line with their views, and they have to fly out to different states. Like chapters on abortion, chapters on performing abortions.
Andrew, let's just grant it, though.
Yeah, for what, though? Like,
No, Brian.
What instances?
Brian, you can't. This is very important, bro. This is propaganda. You have to shut it down, Brian. You cannot simply move forward. Maybe you're not understanding what's going on right now. So what Andrew's doing right now, he's literally, you can, if you're paying attention, guys, your spider tingling will go off. What she said, it sounded like propaganda. What Andrew's doing right now is trying to shut that propaganda down. Brian, I don't think he's catching that signal.
The instance is if you cannot physically deliver this child and it's a detriment to you, then
It's
you're
dead.
No, there is not any. No, nobody is refusing to teach OBGYNs in Texas that if the health of the mother and the welfare of the mother is at stake, meaning she's going to die if she goes into delivery for this kid, that they can't do an emergency abortion. That is completely nonsense. I would love to know. You can even send it to me after the show. But there's no way that that's true. There's simply no way that that's true.
But are they not omitting education?
Yeah, I mean, it
Especially
depends
in
on what the
reproductive
depends
rights.
on what the education is for. Like, okay, public schools probably omit education for how to build a nuclear bomb. Yeah, so what? Like, good. They should omit that education. So you would need to tell me what the education is they're omitting and how it would be pertinent to this idea.
One sec. Or go ahead.
I'm saying it's pertinent because you should teach everything. I don't know. I know you're asking me to say specific examples, but if you are in any state in the
Should
U.S.
you teach kids how to build Uzis?
No, because I'm talking about OBGYN.
So we shouldn't teach everything.
I'm talking about the OBGYN residency specifically for medical students because that's
Yeah,
pertinent
why
to the
should we
situation.
teach them everything? If
It's
there's a
easy.
moral dilemma, like, would you teach a doctor how to poison patients? No, right? So there's all sorts of things that you wouldn't teach people who are in a residency if there's a moral dilemma. So the question is, like, absent whatever the specific education you're talking about in regards to abortion, if it's outside the scope of the moral dilemma, why would you teach it to them?
It's not outside the scope of the moral dilemma, though.
Then what is it?
I'm saying they should have full access to know everything. Whether or
know
not they
everything.
can perform
Why?
it, that is up to each state.
Yeah, why?
There we go. Nice job. Nice job. There you go. Got him, guys. See, just looking around like, can you guys help me? She looking around here to Missouri, a Mississippi girl. Can you help me? And she's like, nah, I'm not helping you.
I don't know why they should have access to all that. You can't tell me.
She's
what
alone
nation
on this
she's being
one.
Educated in. You can't tell me what state it's in.
She's alone.
You can't tell me any of these specific cases, but you're adamant that it's happening. That doesn't sound like complete fake news to you,
can
like
literally look it
possibly
up.
Democrat propagandizing.
Yeah.
You can look it up.
I
I
did.
just looked it up. I couldn't find the case anywhere. The only case that I could find was in this miscarriage. I couldn't find any case of the mother's actual, body going to die based on a previous diagnosis of an abnormality. That's complete nonsense. And by
Sound
the
like
way,
propaganda.
the reason Democrats lost the most recent election is because there was women all over the place saying shit like this. And when people would look it up, they found out it was bullshit. It was total bullshit. When we get down to it, the real moral dilemma of abortion does not come down to 0.1% of them, which happens when it affects the life of the mother. Almost no abortion is done that way. Can you at least agree with that? Almost zero abortion done in the United States has anything to do with the life of the mother.
Okay, but what about
There you go.
if it was a 10-year-old
What about ism?
and then you're not agreeing with the life of the mother? It's not detrimental.
Well, that's true, and I'll directly contend with this.
Okay, then we can agree.
If you were SA'd at a party, sexually assaulted at a party, does that mean that you can go home and kill another one of your kids?
Sorry, what's the question again?
Nah. She have a cognitive dissonance right there. Cognitive dissonance.
And you had 2 children. Could you go home and then kill one of them because you were SA'd?
Did you or did you not consent?
Can you answer my question before you ask me
that
one?
Child?
I'll answer yours, but answer mine. So to start with, if you are SA'd at a party, does it give you the right to go home and unalive one of your kids?
No.
Why?
Because that's the life you're taking. That exists.
That's right. And so that's the exact counter argument to the argument of you being SA'd and delivering. You don't have a right to then take the life of somebody else, even though a horrible thing happened to you.
But you're forced to carry through with it.
You're not forcing them to do anything. You're saying that they're not allowed to kill somebody else who's external to them.
But you're forcing the woman to go through,
yes,
might I say, a
traumatic
traumatic
we force
pregnancy.
People all the time to not murder people. That's true.
Okay, well, can we please move on?
Yeah, got on.
Comfortable that there's a counter argument here?
Yes.
We're having a reasonable conversation.
You're getting comfortable.
I would say that yes, I would need to do more research on the topic.
Yeah, conceded.
That's all I'm gonna say.
There you go. She conceded. That's it. This is you see guys what happened when nobody's coming in. Sisterhood is already checked. Brian is not doing these coming weird, back and forth. Sometimes he want to save them because it's a little simps. He's simp sometimes. That's fine. He's simping. This is what happened, guys. The argument's confronted. You bring the worldview, her perspective of the world. You confront that idea of what it is, and you challenge it. She concede, and then you destroy it. That's how you do it. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you in the next one.